Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach J.B. Wallace. Brought to you by Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Prattville, Crab King Seafood, CBE, and Durbin Auto Parts.
Well, welcome fans to the Prattville Lions Football Review. I'm Chris Britton, standing in for Will Barrett today, joining Coach J.B. Wallace. Coach, talk to us a little bit about the tough ball game this past Friday night against Auburn.
Well, I think that was definitely a test that I'm glad that we were able to see early in the season, opposed to later in the season. But, you know, coming into that game, we knew it was going to be a tough opponent.
Sure.
You know, a lot of history between Prattville and Auburn, and they've always ended, you know, in some sort of way, dating back to 2009.
Yeah.
You know, it always ends, you know, different. But
can't be easy.
Oh yeah, and you know, we came in and defensively, you know, I think we played a pretty strong game.
Goodness, yeah.
The thing that I don't like, but our defense stood the test to it, is that they want to field 70 plays. We play 70-plus plays defensively.
Goodness.
We never want to play 70 plays on defense.
Right.
But offensively, you know, just sitting there looking at our performance there, we kind of sputtered early in the game, trying to find our way. A couple of things that they did on film, it was a little different when we got there, so they did make some changes. In second half, our offensive staff done a great job of figuring it out and, you know, getting us in the right formation to be able to do the things we need to do. And second half, we're able to move the ball. We're able to run the ball, which opened up our throw game more, which a bulk of our passing yards came in the second half. So, you know, that was something that we definitely can build on. And then, you know, through the end, it came to a last play of the game,
sure.
In which we had an opportunity to make that play. And it didn't end the way we wanted, but, you know, we're ready to move on from it. But it was definitely a great game. Great job by the Auburn staff and their team for coming in and competing, and a great job by our guys not giving up. You know, had every opportunity to fold the tent, and that was the test that I needed to see us. I needed to see us go play and not fold the tent when adversity hit. And adversity hit, and we didn't fold the tent. We played the next play.
And that leads to the next question I was going to ask. No one wants to lose. You don't want to lose a game. But what lessons have your guys carried away in the short term, or do you see them carrying from the game Friday night?
Well, ironically, Tuesday, we had a long talk with the players Tuesday after practice, because we kind of got off to a slow start, and it ended up well, but it started off kind of slow. You know, I guess it was a long day, and you know, we had to come in, we had to get it done, and you know, so it didn't go like we wanted it, but it did end well, and I just take that to Friday night.
How about that?
It started slow and it ended well, but it didn't, you know, we didn't get it done. So definitely you got to start fast. You got to jump on your opponents early. You got to come out with the confidence, and you got to come out with the intensity to get it done early, especially when you're playing those caliber teams.
Sure. Well, fans, it was a great game. If you were there, if you were watching, the Lions, it's like you said, man, put some stuff together on the offensive side late in the game, but just came up a little short as the Lions fell 20-14 this past Friday night. We're going to take you now to the highlight package from this week's game. Fans, we're now going to take you to one of our favorite segments, the In the Lion's Cage. This week, you're going to meet in the Lion's Cage Joe Lane.
Man, Joe Lane, I'm curious to see Joe Lane, how he's going to have some fun on camera, because his idea of fun typically is moving a pile during the game and during practice. So I'm excited to see what Joe is going to bring to the table today.
That's fantastic. Fans, let's go in the Lion's Cage with Joe Lane.
I'm Joe Lane, offensive tackle, and I graduate 2022.
If you were stranded on an island alone and all your food, water, and shelter needs were met, how would you pass the time?
Probably by reading a book or playing on my phone with that, if that's possible.
Who's been your favorite teacher to this point, K through 12, and why?
My favorite teacher is going to have to be Coach Stein in 7th grade, and he just always made class entertaining.
Imagine someone gave you an elephant. You aren't allowed to sell it or give it away. What would you do with it?
That's, I don't know, probably ride it around town.
What's the best advice you've ever been given? Don't ride an elephant. No, I'm kidding.
No matter what happens, play the next play.
That's good. What animal do you think you're most like, and why do you feel that way?
I've been compared to a dog multiple times.
All right. How do you want the Lion Nation to remember you?
I want them to remember me as the hardest working individual on the team.
That's awesome. If a benefactor gave you $75,000 to launch a business, what kind of business would you start?
I'd probably start a restaurant.
Okay. What type of food?
I'd probably start a burger joint.
Okay. I'll get in line to eat there. You've been elected President of the United States of America. Congratulations. What's your first order of business?
Make it so that way you have to turn your blinkers.
Okay. Fair enough. Describe football as if you're speaking to a 5-year-old child.
So you see this ball? You have to take it and you have to get it to the other end of the field.
Fair enough. Last one. Imagine you're given enough money to cover all your needs for the rest of your life, but you only get to keep the cash if you maintain a job. Any job. In that scenario, what kind of job would you have?
Football coach.
Hey, there you go. Great job, buddy.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hooray for Prattville, hooray for Prattville. Someone in the stands yelling hooray for Prattville. 1, 2, 3, 4, tell us who you're yelling for. Prattville, that's who.
Woo! Well done. Fans, now we're going to find out this week's Pepsi Buffalo Rock Player of the Game.
This week's Pepsi Buffalo Rock Player of the Game is Eric Benson. Eric Benson had 13 total tackles Friday night, had 3 tackles for a loss. Was all over the place on Friday night. So he is this week's Pepsi Buffalo Rock Player of the Game.
Well, congratulations to Eric, and thanks to Pepsi Buffalo Rock for sponsoring this week's Player of the Game. So this week, Coach, we've got a region battle. Smith Station's coming to town. Talk a little bit about where the team is and your thoughts towards this coming week's game.
Well, definitely can't focus on records.
Right.
Records really doesn't matter. What matters is the team that shows up on game day and the team that gets it done. The expectation of this week, I know we're going to get their best ball.
Right.
It seems like every opponent we play, we're going to get the best game that they have to offer. So our players and our coaches, we have to be prepared to play against the best version of Smith Station that's coming to town. One thing about them, they do have athletes in their skill positions, and we have to definitely know where they are, because they do a good job of getting them the ball offensively. And defensively, one thing about them, they swarm. They get to the ball.
Yeah.
Defenses like that, if you don't secure the ball, they will get the ball out, and it could pose issues for you down the road. So we definitely want to be playing our best ball this week.
Definitely. And I know this week nothing changes. I know every day you want to see the guys get at least 1% better or something. Is that something that carries on?
Yes, 1% better, and not even just 1% better, but we're real specific in the things that we want to get better at. And after looking at the game on Friday, there's definitely, and I'm on both sides of the ball, there's definitely things we can get better. Just recapping a little bit leading up to this week. We gave up a touchdown pass on a 4th down that could have definitely changed the game.
Yeah.
We could have fixed that by alignment,
right.
and communication on that end. So also we gave up a touchdown run after a turnover because we aligned wrong. So we definitely have some things we got to communicate on the defensive side of the ball, and offensively, just protect the football and establish the run game and get after in the trenches. Those are the things that we want to get 1% better at leading up each day, leading up to the game on Friday.
Yeah, the atmosphere this past Friday. Of course, we got another home game coming up. What did that mean? It was a lot of Prattville fans. It was a loud bunch of Prattville fans. Does that help the team?
Yeah, it definitely helps. It explains a lot why we're one of the most feared places to go play at Stanley Stadium. It was loud in there. And that's another thing. You want it to be that type of environment, and you have to learn how to play in that type of environment. So, and I think our guys did a good job, especially in the second half with all that going on. They kind of tuned it out, and they did what they had to do. And it may have worked to an advantage on our end versus our opponent, but definitely, having a packed house is going to help us and help this program do what we need to do.
Fantastic. Well, fans, we're going to need you out there next Friday night. Thanks for tuning in for this week's Prattville Lions Football Review Show. As always, God bless and go Lions.
Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach J.B. Wallace. Brought to you by Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Prattville, Crab King Seafood, CBE, and Durbin Auto Parts.